You're listening to the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast. Angel Reese is had a season-ending career injury, and Angel Reese will not be playing for the Chicago Sky for the remainder of the season. And this one here, folks, kind of caught me by shock, caught me by off guard. I wasn't expecting to hear the news, but Angel Reese announced the news herself, not the Chicago Sky. And this one is a little puzzling to me, and here's why. I'll tell you why, folks. Why didn't the Chicago Sky disclose the injury? Why didn't the Chicago Sky disclose the injury? Now, it's a bizarre question because Angel Reese just played an outstanding ball game. And so my question really is Angel Reese season over with the Chicago Sky? Is Angel Reese season over with the WNBA? Then that also moves me forward. Is Angel Reese career in the WNBA over? And here's why I'm going to tell you why. Let me get to this and let me explain, because it's unusual. Okay, and I always talk to you about the integrity of the game, the integrity of the professional basketball, and also the integrity of women's professional basketball. Now, the reason I'm pointing towards the organization and why didn't Chicago Sky disclose that Angel Reese had an injury? Okay, and you get back to the integrity, folks. There are people that bet on the WNBA games. There are people that bet on the NFL games. There are people that bet on Major League Baseball. For you to not disclose an injury, okay, is a major infraction. And you have to look at that from the standpoint, why didn't the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese disclose that Angel Reese had an injury? And that one there is a little surprising to me, and this is why I'll tell you why. Angel Reese just came off a ball game where she 24 points, was able to get 12 rebounds, was able to shine, was able to play well. I watched the highlight of that game. I saw Angel Reese go up and down the court. I saw Angel Reese clap her hands together. I saw a lot of things that didn't reflect wrist injury. Now, am I saying that's not the case? Am I challenging the injury? No. Am I a doctor? Absolutely. You guys, that's a comical question, but that's not the case. But here's what I did see, and it did concern me, and it did make me kind of go, okay, what's really going on in this situation? She mentioned a couple things. Okay, she mentioned you'll be happy, I'll be working on my game, you'll see me in the Unrivaled League. Now, the Unrivaled League is a new 3-on-3 basketball league that's been formulated by a WNBA player. I have no idea how this has reached this point, but it has. For a WNBA player to form a league, and you have another WNBA player ending a season, okay, but letting us know that you look forward to seeing me in the Unrivaled League. And then there is also, I believe I heard Angel Reese say, again, that the Unrivaled League will make it so that women won't have to play anywhere else. And that kind of puzzled me because that was a reflection you won't have to play in the WNBA because you're going to make so much money in the Unrivaled League. This one here has got a little twist to it, folks. Obviously, we know the WNBA salaries, they're trying to max them up. Some players are getting as high as $200,000 a year. Minimum salary is $76,000, somewhere there, 76, 80,000. Could be off on the numbers. But when you get a WNBA player shutting their own season down, okay, is that Angel Reese saying I'm no longer going to play in the WNBA? Okay, because with Angel Reese, I kind of mentioned earlier, she's, from a standpoint of celebrity, she's bigger than the WNBA, which means she has ability to get on as movie, acting, celebrity, broadcasting, whatever it is she chooses to do. She has the ability to do that, and the schedule that she has to keep to do that to maximize her earning potential the WNBA takes up a lot of time. And if she doesn't want to commit to being a player. Now, I'm lost because, again, the Chicago Sky and every team, okay, the WNBA model resembles or should resemble the NBA model, but not necessarily true because players can announce when their season is ending, not the team. The team can put you on there as questionable, and they got to disclose the injury. And again, I'm not saying the injury is not real because my daughter broke her wrist, okay, and also just had another broken wrist injury, okay, that ended her softball season. And basically, this when you break the wrist or you have a wrist injury, and I know the rehab, and I know what you have to do to get that prepared and to play basketball. Now, if this injury can require surgery, okay, then you're going into another scope, and it would be almost impossible, okay, really impossible for her to play in the Unrivaled League. But how the Unrivaled League got tossed into this is quite fascinating to me. You got a player under a WNBA contract saying, I'm going to come back and play in a different league. Also, I've got a WNBA player under contract coming back and saying, hey, the Unrivaled League, you're going to have players who won't even have to play anywhere else, okay? And you got to look at this and say, why didn't the Chicago Sky disclose the injury? Why didn't the Chicago Sky make the announcement that Angel Reese season is over? Okay, Angel Reese just got on there with social media and really explained, and if I'm confused, I think Twitter is a part of social media. The announcements keep coming. You just did unapologetically Angel. Now, your career is blossoming. I saw this train wreck coming. I'm just wondering, is this the beginning of it? Because I told you just in the last take, there's going to be a train wreck that's coming down the pike. And the Chicago Sky better go ahead and draft another forward. Okay, you got to go ahead and get your insurance policy. Because I can honestly tell you, I don't know if Angel Reese will be continuing to be playing in the WNBA. And here's why. There's a lot of time, folks, between now and next season. There's a lot of times, there's a lot of things that can happen between now and next season. Okay, and between now and next season on Unapologetically Angel, she will be once a week. That's 52 episodes between now and then. A lot's going to transpire. Now, when you get to the Chicago Sky, they're going to be fine. Chicago Sky are going to play better basketball. It's from a standpoint of a professional sport. Here's what you got to understand. It gets really kind of tricky. It's a slippery slope. Managing the superstars, okay? Managing the superstars because they got to be placed on another pedestal. They got to be treated differently than the regular players. They got more appearances, more things going on, basically more distractions, and it's how well they manage it, okay? If you looked at LeBron James' schedule, you'd probably flip over backwards because you're probably wondering, how does he do it all? I mean, because every day you're just jumping in a car. There's somewhere you got to be, right? So when you get right to it, between now and then, a lot could change. And the Chicago Sky are committed to winning and becoming a winning basketball organization. You got Michael Alter, the owner, is committed. Okay, you got Jeff P., the general manager, is committed. And you also have Teresa Witherspoon, who's the coach. She's committed. Now you got to do the evaluation of the players. So this is a perfect opportunity, okay, to evaluate the players that you have because you're going to have to insert another player in there. There's going to have to be another player come in there. It's going to have to was off the bench. You got players who weren't getting minutes and now going to get minutes because Angel Reese commanded a lot of minutes. There's no more competition between her and Cardosa. So Camilla can have whatever space she needs. She's got the block. But it falls back to me with Angel Reese is a superstar celebrity. As I told you, it'd be a train wreck. There is going to be a train wreck between the WNBA, okay, and, okay, Angel Reese. There's going to be a train wreck because you can't talk about another league unless this is the plan of the WNBA. And are they supporting this? If they are, they should make the announcement. The Unrivaled League, we're 100% supportive of it. And we are looking forward to transitioning our players into the Unrivaled League. Because, folks, you got to ask yourself, if players making $76,000, okay, but you go ahead and you can make $250,000 and you can do that for 10 weeks. Why would you go back and play the other game when you could just keep playing that game and sharpen your skills? Okay, there's only so many players going out there, but there's a whole new crop of players coming in. And I believe that this one here is more to the story. And the only reason I'm telling you there's more to the story is the fact that Angel Reese, okay, made the announcement herself. Why didn't the Chicago Sky? And then also understanding that, it's one of those things where you got to know what you can do, when you can do it, where you can do it. You got to hold a high standard. And it's no longer be that she will be with the Chicago Sky. I mean, she'll be supportive, but the Chicago Sky are going to evaluate some players, and they're going into the draft, and they got a shot at the playoffs. I think the Chicago Sky won't miss a beat with Angel Reese missing, only because there opens up more options that you have of what you can do on the floor. Now, this is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast. We're powered up by Fanatics. It's opening season. You got the Caleb Williams is going to get it in. I think he's going to get the victory today. You got a great number 1 draft pick. Angel Reese, wrist injury, made her own announcement, and this one here has got more to the story. I will tell you this is abnormal, but I saw it also with Katie Lou Samuelson with the Indiana Fever. She kind of stepped out and injured and somehow stepped back in and said, okay, I'll come off the bench. That's good enough for me. But when Angel Reese makes her own announcement and the Chicago Sky don't make the announcement, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the integrity of the game. Okay, there's individuals that do bet on these games. There's individuals that do cover these games, and I'm sure the Chicago newspapers may or may not have been aware of this, and maybe they can give us a take that should come out in public relations, because normally public relations will make an announcement or they'll pass it on to one of the media. And in this case, Angel Reese is basically saying I'm just as big as everybody else in the media, so I can make my own announcement, and that's good, but you ought to let the team know. And maybe the team does know, and we'll get more information. But this one's serious. If it is season ending in the WNBA for Angel Reese, that's right. Is it season ending or is it career ending for Angel Reese in the WNBA? As Angel Reese has stated in her response, you'll see me get ready, Unrivaled League. There's a promotion going on there. So I haven't seen this in professional sports, but there's a first time for everything, and that's when you get a player. There's players that are currently playing in a league decide, we're going to go start another league, and we're going to compete for players against the league you're playing in. Now, they're going to mention it's just a 30, folks, that's not how it works. I mean, you're just opening up this can of worms or Pandora's box or whatever you want to call it. The more it gets opened, okay, the more individuals, there's nothing stopping. You got like boxing, okay? You got a Saudi king comes over. Well, what if the Saudi king comes over and says, hey, I want to just finance the whole league? How much does it cost? Well, is it going to cost me, what, $500 million? Okay, let's start it. This thing could get out of control, okay, because you got to have some sort of order, protocol of how you make announcement from a season-ending injury in professional sports. And you have to disclose when a player has an injury, okay? You cannot hide that because it affects the integrity. As you all know, we've moved into a different space, and people are betting on the games. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio podcast. We're powered up by Fanatics. We are just excited. It's opening day, but Angel Reese dropped the bombshell. Season-ending injury. It's her risk, and she's going to shut it down, and her Her quote was, "I'll see you all in the unrivaled league." All things are possible to those who believe. We're going to get better and better so that we can take it higher and higher for you, and we'll see you soon.